hour.
100 miles an hour. Okay, I'm liking this.
Right. Right. So he leads in with your car is done, and you owe me $17,000 or $1,700. That was his lead in, which immediately, right, like, kind of hit you like a dumb stick, right? Because you weren't expecting. You're expecting something.
The estimate you was expecting.
You were expecting something,
61, not
but you weren't.
120.
But you weren't expecting some grossly large number, right? So.
You do realize the difference between estimate being expected and estimate being authorized. Those are very different things.
If he would have told you that your total's 1261, you would have said, I'll be right to pick it up.
So,
right?
Maybe.
No, maybe.
Maybe not. That didn't happen.
It didn't happen,
that's
which is why I said if things would have happened differently on Saturday, who knows what would have happened. But my point is, right, with him not making a phone call, he never called, he never authorized. Because if he would have been told what the correct alternator was for the vehicle, which is not offered in 1994.
And that there were hoses in the back, and that there was coolant in the back.
Right. There would have been a whole different story. Is my point that I'm trying to convey to you, right? Like, so I know you're mad.
I'm not mad.
I'm
disappointed in my advisor. Okay, I'm a little disappointed in you because you know what you're coming in for, but I'm a little disappointed in,
You can be, but I think what you should be disappointed in is that the guy didn't do the right thing. He didn't do the right thing. I mean, it's cut and dry. And if he would have done the right thing, things could have been different. So I can show you the parts if you'd like to see them. My concern right now is the alternator on there is not the correct alternator.
I can assure you the alternator you have is the one we pulled off your vehicle.
Okay.
It's fine.
I don't have them hanging around, man.
I know, but it doesn't.
It's an old relic,
It doesn't show. That doesn't pan out to the part number that YSIP says that should be on there. And I just called YSIP. That conversation just happened.
That's not a price. Now we have to get that alternator from downtown. We didn't have one installed.
Right. So that's the other thing that's weird. That's the other thing.
So we did get an.
So where was the alternator actually bought from? So Tim said AutoZone. So it's funny because like I called AutoZone. So the price you put on there, which he says wasn't marked up or anything, AutoZone never. AutoZone doesn't have an alternator at that price.
We had one at $181. Cost was $86.
So he said that he charged me cost for the alternator.
And they lied to you. And that's another thing I don't like.
Right. Right. So you can see.
I do apologize for the way my guy treated it.
So you can see where my position is.
So many other people as you treated like this that didn't say anything
and ran
about
customers off.
So this is our conversation.
Oh yeah.
We don't have to talk about other people, but
no, I know, but that's what I mean. Like I'm just trying to convey that to you, right? Like
it's things like that to give. And I used to work here, and I don't know how many times I told him, look, I've worked for dealerships, and I've worked for non-dealerships, and dealerships are by far the most honest place to work. It is very rare that you find.
right.
Yeah, the 5-star. I don't know if you guys are still doing that, but that meant something when I worked here. So I told him, I was like, I want to be on your side, but there's a very real possibility that you're mistaken. So I don't want to assume that you're correct. I want to assume that there's an oversight, some mistake, which is why, as soon as I got here, I grabbed the tech copy, I looked for authorization, there was none. Even the way the RO is written, it just says, line A, replace gaskets. Why? Legally, you write, customer states, valve cover gaskets are leaking, oil pan gasket is leaking, per previous diagnosis. Even the RO is not written correctly. The RO is not even written correctly. I mean, it's like, how many red flags do you need? This isn't us or him making something up. This is blatant, terrible work. But that's a big reason why it went this way, because nothing was handled properly from literally the very first minute this was started. It doesn't say in here reference, previous RO number blah 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 for estimate. If it had something like that, this might be different. Like everything about this is wrong. You know that.
Oh, when I see that this morning, I sent an email out about my documentation. And I'm probably more pissed than you are. Not at you guys.
No, I understand.
The way it went, you know, because and I said the same words to him today. I mean, my only legal documentation is on that referral.
Yeah, that's why it's critical that that is handled properly. And most service advisors don't realize that. They think it's just, who cares? But at the end of the day, if something goes south, this is what you have. Every word on here matters. Every phone call, every documentation, every time. It matters. If you don't do it right, you set yourself up for failure, which is what happened here. So, what do you want to do about the alternator?
No. I'm open to suggestions on the alternator. I don't.
That was the alternator come off the vehicle, man. I don't have them back.
That's fine. I'm not disputing that. What I'm saying is the alternator, and
It's
it's
in
not
the
my
vehicle.
vehicle. I don't know, but what I understand is that that vehicle had electrical issues. A better alternator, a higher output alternator was required, which is how it ended up with the offer of 1,500.
Right, so
So if it has the wrong
I just
alternator
want to
on
talk
it,
to my parks manager. Okay?
well, at the end of the day, if the wrong alternator's on it and further damage
the
occurs,
thing is, the way I said things is it has to be that.
then liability issues come into play. If it's the wrong alternator and you have to get a new one, who cares?
So when they installed that, did they adjust did they replace the belt or anything? So I'm reading right off of
I do not believe so.
okay. So I'm reading off of the YSEP paperwork, right? And the YSEP paperwork. Issue with alternate output, continued contact with Star, which is whoever they consulted with. Determined higher output for alternator needed to correct issue. Installed used alternator off of a 1999 FR.
There's a used alternator.
They installed the used alternator. I don't contest that at all. Installed the used alternator off of a 1999 Dodge 1500. Has 136 amp capacity and a smaller pulley. And that is what solved the original electrical problem.
You got 17 belt with an adjustable plug, because you know.
So it's an adjust. Okay.
Oh yeah,
So
just where it goes with the pressure.
No, the pulley on the front of the alternator determines how fast the alternator spins. So if you have a smaller alternator pulley, it'll spin faster.
I mean, you can read exactly what it
No, I know.
I mean, so,
Swapping
right.
alternator pulleys is not uncommon.
right.
So that would be something to check, is to see if the alternator. I mean, we know that the pulley wasn't swapped because it has the same pulley on it that's on its old used. So does the pulley diameter match on what's on the Jeep and what's on my toolbox?
Are you in the store? Come over here. This alternator we put on the '94 Cherokee. Now, when he had a problem with his alternator, they put a used alternator, 99 1500. This is a high output. Because he was having some electrical issues.
Okay.
Have you heard of that on these vehicles?
No, I haven't.
Do you know what your electrical problem was?
I can forward you what their invoice to me was. If you'd like.
Sure. Yeah.
What
J.
J.
Heilman, H-I-L-E-M-A-N.
Sorry, H-I-L-E.
Yep, M-A-N.
M-A-N.
At Lithia.com.
L-I-T-H-A.
L-I-T-H-I-A.
Dot. So it's folded so it fits on one screen if you want to see what the whole thing looks like. I have no problem seeing the whole thing. It just was more clear on there. But that is the invoice from WISA, which is the Dodge dealer, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Honda dealer in, well, that's weird. It says Lewiston, but they're in Pullman. No, it says Pullman. I apologize. I'm dealing with an old phone, so hopefully it made it to you.
We've seen the cyberspace coming down there. Now, what's the, do you know the output on this alternator?
Maybe the factory output.
Factory output.
Which I believe is 90 amps. I believe the factory output is 90 amps.
Yeah, not for sure.
Yeah.
What were your issues? Because he just said, all it says here is line 1, customer says that Jeep still has issues.
Again, I'm not 100% familiar with all that was going on there. There was something the matter with the battery draining and with the alternator not putting enough output out. So right, since it wasn't putting enough output out, it was the engine was running off the battery instead of off the alternator, is what I believe is, but I'm not. It was an ongoing electrical that Chrysler solved. They, like, as it indicates, right, they had to contact some company named Star.
Yeah, which is our engineer. It's kind of the helpline, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. But they were specific enough to say, right, don't put something in smaller as it can cause reoccurrence of the issue, basically, right? Like it'll.
So it was just it was just draining the battery. It was a slow battery drain, basically.
So battery drain, I believe, there were like the PMC, PMU, the old school ECU, PCM, that kept frying and kept
Yeah,
having.
it's an internal regulator on those.
Right, so like they kept.
So that's what charges the battery is the signal it's getting.
So but they had to replace what would qualify as an old ECU that was also, is that the, I don't know, I'm not.
Yeah, PCM, ECU, it's the same thing.
Okay, so had to be fully replaced. I know that for certain, and a bunch of other things, and they traced that back to a power issue that they required more power.
You got the alternator with 136 amp capacity and smaller pulley hookup? there going to need to be another 99, 1500 alternator?
Everything we have is cataloged by part number.
I know, but they're only used. But can you get a 99 alternator?
99 RAM?
Yeah.
1500.
Yeah, more likely. What is it?
Huh? I have no idea.
5259 something.
Huh?
Yeah.
Should be the same alternator, I would think.
I have no idea. Like, I can call YSUP to verify all that information, or you guys can call YSUP. Somebody can call YSUP.
Can you see if one's available?
Sure. And I guess the other thing I should let you know, right? Like, Tim wasn't the only guy we talked to about contacting you yesterday, on Saturday. I mean, we talked to, basically, the conversation was vocal enough, and was
Suffice to say, somebody else should have called you had Tim not.
All right.
we specifically talked. I specifically also, like I said, I asked Elena to call you. I asked Elena. I said there certainly has to be a manager here someplace to get the issue resolved, right? Like I pleaded. I mean, we were in here for probably an hour and a half, with going over the issue, right? I mean, I could go into like all of the gory details if you want to know, especially if you want to know the
He's
gory.
going to deny it.
No, I know, but especially if you want to know the gory details with Anthony as well, right? Like,
Yeah, we'd like to know.
so Anthony has seizures.
Who's Anthony?
The,
Oh, it's back to Anthony.
sorry, no, not Anthony Newman.
No, not Anthony.
Yeah, sorry. So Anthony Newman has seizures. He's going through a lot of post-traumatic stress issues with.
So who owns this vehicle?
With
Who's the owner of this vehicle?
with surgeries and everything. The owner